The needle drops, the opening notes play, and for one magical moment, these artists own the airwaves of America. It's the early 1970s, and radio delivers melodies from bands who would vanish almost as quickly as they appeared. The Stampeders were a Canadian rock trio who struck gold with Sweet City Woman in 1971. Originally from Calgary, the band moved to Toronto in 1968 to chase fame and nearly disbanded before creating this breakthrough hit. The distinctive banjo opening was actually a last-minute addition suggested by their producer. After topping the Canadian charts and reaching number 8 in the US, the Stampeders never repeated their international success. Today, they occasionally reunite for nostalgia tours, with original members Rich Dodson and Kim Burley still performing. What many don't know is that Sweet City Woman was initially rejected by several record labels who thought the banjo made it sound too country for rock radio. The song also sparked controversy when it was used without permission in a 1972 political campaign for a Toronto mayoral candidate, causing the band to publicly denounce the unauthorized use. This incident became one of the first high-profile cases of musicians fighting against political appropriation of their music. Precious and Few by Climax.
Precious and few are the moments we took.
Reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1972, but few people know about the tumultuous history behind this soft rock ballad. Sonny Geraci, the lead vocalist, had previously found success with The Outsiders and their hit Time Won't Let Me. Climax was actually formed from the ashes of that band. After Climax disbanded, Geraci continued to perform until suffering an aneurysm in 2012, which left him unable to perform. Sadly, he passed away in 2017. Behind the scenes, Precious and Few was at the center of a heated dispute between band members and their management. The song was allegedly recorded in just one take, but the royalty distribution created lasting bitterness. In a little-known interview from 1980, Geraci claimed he was swindled out of most of his earnings from the hit and that the band received less than 2% of the profit the song generated. Several members weren't even credited on the recording, despite playing on the track. Louisiana's Pot Liquor brought Southern rock to the charts with Cheer in 1973. Formed in Baton Rouge in 1969, this four-piece band had a distinctively gritty sound that set them apart from the polished pop-dominating radio. Cheer reached number 37 on the Billboard charts, giving them their brief moment of national recognition. The band released 3 albums before dissolving in 1974. The recording of Cheer was reportedly fueled by massive amounts of alcohol, true to the band's name, which refers to the liquid left after cooking meat. According to local legend, the band refused to perform the song after 1973, with lead singer George Ratzliff claiming it commercialized their sound. If you're enjoying these memories, make sure to hit that like button right now and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into music history, and share this video with someone who might remember dancing to these awesome tunes. Ocean, a gospel-influenced Canadian pop group, soared to number 2 on the charts with their cover of Put Your Hand in the Hand in 1971. The group was assembled specifically to record this song by producer Greg Brown, who sought to capitalize on the emerging Jesus movement in popular culture. After their unexpected success, the band struggled to find a follow-up hit and disbanded by 1975. Several members continued in the music industry as session musicians and backup vocalists. Few fans realize that despite the song's religious message, Ocean performed at some of the era's most debauched venues, including an infamous 3-night stand at the Whiskey A Go-Go, where they reportedly shared the bill with pioneering shock rocker Alice Cooper. While credited to Coven, One Tin Soldier is a complex case of mistaken identity in music history. After reaching number 26 on the Billboard Hot 100, the band never had another mainstream hit, though they maintained a dedicated following in occult rock circles. Lead singer Jinx Dawson continues to perform with a revived version of Coven to this day. The irony that has rarely been discussed is that Coven, a band known for satanic imagery and upside-down crosses in their earlier work, had their only hit with an anti-war song that became popular in Sunday schools and church youth groups. Many religious leaders who embraced the song had no idea about the band's occult connections. Canadian group The Bells created the heartfelt duet Stay a While, which reached number 7 on the U.S. charts in 1971.
Guess I'm gonna stay with him a while.
The song was actually recorded in 1969, but didn't become a hit until it was re-released in 1971. After their success with Stay a While, The Bells struggled to recapture that magic, though they had several more hits in Canada. The group disbanded in 1973 when the singers divorced. The behind-the-scenes reality of Stay a While was far less romantic than the song suggests. By the time the single became a hit in 1971, Edwards and Ralph's marriage was already dissolving, creating uncomfortable tension during promotional appearances. Hey friends, please share your memories in the comments below. We love hearing from you. If you're enjoying these memories, make sure to hit that like button right now. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into music history, and share this video with someone who might remember dancing to these forgotten classics. Now, let's continue our journey. The soul pop group Free Movement scored their only hit with I Found Someone of My Own, which reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1972. This California-based ensemble consisted of 6 members who met while performing in various clubs around Los Angeles. Their harmonies reflected influences from both gospel and doo-wop traditions. Despite the success of their hit single, which sold over 1 million copies, the group disbanded within a year of their chart success. What remains largely unknown is that I Found Someone of My Own was at the center of a complex legal battle over songwriting credits. The credited writer, Gary Zeckley, allegedly purchased the song from its original composer, who was contractually bound to another publisher and couldn't release it under his own name. This practice was common in the industry, but rarely documented. Folk singer Jonathan Edwards struck gold with Sunshine,
Sunshine, go away today. I don't feel much like dancing.
which reached number 4 on the Billboard charts in 1971. Unlike many one-hit wonders, Edwards has maintained a steady career over the decades, releasing numerous albums and continuing to tour well into his 70s. He's become a respected figure in the folk and even bluegrass communities, even if he never again cracked the mainstream charts. Few fans realize that Sunshine was included on Edwards' album only because another song was accidentally erased during the recording process. When a tape engineer accidentally wiped a song intended for the album, Edwards quickly recorded Sunshine as a replacement, never expecting it to become a hit. Beverly Bremers' path to her hit, Don't Say You Don't Remember,
Don't say you don't remember.
was unusual. She was primarily a theatrical performer who had appeared in the original Broadway cast of Hair before recording this song, which reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1972. After her brief pop career, Bremers returned to theater and voice work, later becoming a successful writer of children's educational materials and jingles. She also worked as a voice coach and occasionally performed in regional theater productions into the 2000s. What's rarely discussed is that Bremers reportedly turned down numerous offers for follow-up records because she disliked the direction producers wanted to take her with her image. In a 1990 interview, she claimed record executives wanted to market her as the next Cher and push for increasingly provocative photo shoots and wardrobe choices that made her uncomfortable. The trio of Dan Hamilton, Joe Frank Carollo, and Tommy Reynolds created one of 1971's biggest hits with Don't Pull Your Love, which reached number 4 on the Billboard charts. All three were experienced musicians who had played in various bands throughout the 1960s before forming their own group. The song's catchy chorus and polished production made it a staple on AM radio. Hamilton and Carollo continued performing together until Hamilton's death in 1994. Despite their clean-cut image, the group was known among industry insiders for their wild behavior on tour. According to roadies who worked with them, their backstage antics rivaled those of much more notorious rock acts. The country pop trio Cimarron reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1971 with Rings, a harmony-rich ballad about commitment. The group consisted of brothers Rick and Richard Bowles, along with Charlie Black, all of whom were experienced songwriters before forming the group. Despite the success of Rings, the trio disbanded within a year of their hit. However, all three members went on to successful careers as songwriters for other artists. The little-known story behind Rings is that it was originally written for a wedding ring commercial. When the advertising agency rejected it, the writers decided to record it themselves as Samaran. Hailing from the Bahamas, the beginning of the end brought Caribbean flavors to the American charts with Funky Nassau, which reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1971. The band was composed of three brothers. After disbanding in the mid-1970s, Raphael Munnings continued to be an influential figure in Bahamian music and later became a cultural ambassador for the islands. What most listeners don't know is that Funky Nassau was recorded in extremely humble conditions. The original track was laid down in a makeshift studio with borrowed equipment after several established studios refused to work with the band, claiming their sound was too foreign for American audiences. Harry Nilsson's heart-wrenching rendition of Without You topped the charts for 4 weeks in 1972. Earning him a Grammy and becoming his signature song. Despite his immense talent as both a singer and songwriter, Nilsson never matched this level of commercial success again. Though he had several other minor hits and wrote songs recorded by numerous artists, Nilsson's later career was affected by vocal damage and personal struggles. He passed away in 1994 at age 52 from heart failure. The tragic backstory of Without You extends beyond Nilsson's interpretation. Both songwriters from Badfinger eventually decided to end their lives, Pete Ham in 1975 and Tom Evans in 1983, in part due to financial and legal problems related to their music career. Despite writing one of the most commercially successful ballads of the era, they saw little of the profits due to mismanagement and exploitative contracts. That wraps up our journey through these 13 remarkable one-hit wonders from the 1970s. If you enjoyed this dive into music history, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. Leave a comment below with your favorite one-hit wonder or any memories you have of these songs. Until next time, keep those records spinning and the stories behind them alive.